Welcome back to Houston Life. For your health, a really inspiring story behind why a local doctor cares so much about her patients.
Yeah, Dr. Reincke has studied veins for years, and she wants you to know problems with veins are not just a normal sign of aging. In fact, they could be telling you something serious about your health.
Mel Camp met up with the doctor at her center in Sugar Land to learn why she's so passionate about the message.
Dr. Toni Reincke has a big heart. She really cares for her patients and her team at Reincke Vein Center.
How important is it for you to take care of people?
It's everything. It's my passion, right? So starting from the time that I became a nurse, I was a surgical ICU nurse, and then I went back to school, became a physician assistant, worked in neurosurgery, and the whole time just patient care is always my goal. It's so important to me. And then I went to medical school, and so being able to continue to provide care for patients even at this level where I do everything in my office, I would say it's everything.
Dr. Reincke graduated top of her class in her final year at med school. However, the road she traveled to get there was not an easy one.
I certainly came from humble beginnings, so for me, having nothing growing up, in order to make ends meet, we had to use food stamps. I remember it being a big deal that we moved into a trailer.
At one point, your family, you were homeless.
Yep, there was a period of time when we were very, very young, and our mom wasn't around, and she was trying to get some kind of employment, money-wise. And I remember moving in at that point with my grandmother. You have to be the person that steps in and says, just because this happened to me doesn't mean I'm going to perpetuate that cycle. And I'm always looking out sort of for the underdog.
It is this compassion that Dr. Reincke brings to her clinic and sees her going that extra mile for her patients.
It means the world that I can run my own center and I do things the way that I feel is appropriate, and yet at the same time I'm spending quality time with patients, which of course patients love, and I do as well.
Whether you are a woman or a man, it is not necessarily nice to discover an overly pronounced vein that wasn't there before, or see more and more of those squiggly spider veins appearing on your legs. However, your health is more than skin deep. So don't put these changes, along with things like swollen and achy legs, down to the fact that you're simply getting older. The way your veins look could be telling you something. They could be a sign of vein disease.
In a nutshell, vein disease is stretched out veins. Valves inside the veins, which are kind of like doors, they're normally open and then close immediately. Those valves get stretched out and blood goes backwards. It goes towards your foot instead of towards your heart. So the importance of treating vein disease is because as the blood backs up over many years, it creates high pressure and inflammation in your skin, in your tissues. Ultimately, that leads to worsening of vein disease. Some patients then will get open wounds that don't heal, as well as they'll get big bulging veins, changes of their skin, like darkening of their skin. So what we want to do is, by treating you, we want to slow the progression of vein disease. A couple things that are sort of unique to how I run my practice is that I'm the only physician, and I see patients on every visit. I treat them from start to finish. I give all of my patients my personal cell phone number. So after hours or even on weekends, if they do have a concern or a question, they can just reach out to me. So it's really important for anybody that needs to come see me to come in. We take all commercial insurance as well as government plans, and we have cash pricing options as well.
If you have any concerns when it comes to the health of your veins, check in with Dr. Reincke and let her help you out. She knows a thing or two about caring.
The Reincke Vein Center is in Sugar Land.
And you can get a free consultation by telling them you saw this story on Houston Life. Their number is 281-394-4446.
You can also visit their website at reinkeveincenter.com.